So before you start blocking for your turban, it's a good idea to go, well, how far do I want this to go? I'm going to go from my forehead down to the back of my head. I don't really need to block anything much bigger than that. That comes to 14 to 15 inches or about 38 centimetres. Same distance side to side. So I've cut a square of 14 centimetres, as you can see, from my black blocking net, and I've decided that I'm only going to do one layer because guess what, if people are so rough on their turban then it falls to bits, that's their problem. Now I've lightly damped this with water spray. If you over wet it and it becomes drippy, then you're just going to find your fingers are covered with the stiffener and you'll have paid to get messy fingers. I have got a blocking net here, and I've also ascertained that this dome block is really super hard. So I've got my hammer handy. If you can get your pins in using your thimble, then that's going to be a lot quicker, but if you can't, then use the hammer. Now I've positioned this so that it's going more deeply at what will become the back than the front, because I'm going to be cutting off the surplus there. And the interesting thing about blocking net, if you look at it, it's almost like diamonds. So it comes on the roll like this, and it's on the bias effectively down the side and across the front. So when I'm looking for straight grains, if I start at the top and follow a line, it goes out to here, comes out to just over the right eye. So if I put that over there, and if I try and go with my thimble, if it does my head in, I'll be whacking it with the... Oh, it's not too bad. If you can do it with a pin, it's quicker. Going down here, and again, that starts to get the thing firm on your block. Like that. So it's going to be on the cross at the front. It's starting to already chew into my skin on my fingers, so I may not last terribly long with my thimble. So now I'm going to go down coming straight down the sides there. Of course you can, that's really good, thanks for sharing. And then in you go, and if it's too hard, but when you're doing hammering, make sure you hold it by the handle, because otherwise I'll boss you around, as you well know, micromanage you. So that one goes down there, and I'm just putting the pins in here underneath the block. So it's the same as every flat material when you block it. You want it to sit as naturally as it can on the surface at the top, and then you want to, it's secure on the block now, and I can just roll this down the side using the blocking cord, which was lent to me by my beautiful photographic assistant over here. And see, it's almost blocked. It's sort of 4 pins, and it's really, because it's such an open material, it'll come down from a flat surface right to the bottom. When you get to Cinemate, you're going to get bunching and all sorts of things, but blocking net does amazing stuff. It's so flexible. So now with the next lot of pins, we're just going to go beside. It's around about now that an elastic that is the size of your block is handy. You can just wrap it wrap it around and pull it down, and that will hold it onto the block as well. So what we're doing is we're just smoothing it down so that there's no bunching. Try not to hammer your finger, but really please don't hold it up near the lump, because then you have to do every little square inch of the work, and it never works. Hold it down here, and you let the weight of the hammer do the work. So only get the pins in far enough so that it holds the material down. See how I angled that away from the image area, and just keep on working from the straight grain, which in this one is a little bit weird to locate, but once you've found it, you can never forget, and you just keep on going. So later, when this is dry, I don't need that anymore anyway. We can take it off the block, cut it to shape, give it a bit of extra stiffener. Because we've only got one layer, it's always a good idea to put a bit of 100% on it, just to give it a bit of extra mojo. And then it's ready to do your draping with your turban material. I reckon that's enough.